This is Carl with your Conscious Livestock update for the week ending Friday, May 23rd. It is today. Pretty big week in livestock. A lot of volatile trade. We set a new contract high in hogs, set back, highs in cattle, set back, and really settled into kind of a sideways range for the week. I'll get back to that here before we end. But some of the top stories on the week, starting out the bird flu in Brazil was a story all week long. We saw Brazil and China especially was the concern. Brazil did see their poultry exports to China suspended. Going to be suspended for 28 days. They expect everything to be cleaned up, but they are suspended for 60 days. I wouldn't be too surprised if we didn't see an early end to that. I don't think it'll take it all the way to the 60 days, but we did see poultry vessels that were on the way to China turned around, China washing out of them and canceling them. So a little bit of a story building there. I don't know as if it's going to be really something long standing in the market. Brazil and China still met over beef trade, and that does look like that's going to start picking up a little bit. Several trade groups in China this week for red meat trade. Argentina, one of them, a lot out of South America. Argentina really wants to maintain that Chinese beef business. Argentina is 21% of China's beef supply, but China is 74% of Argentina's beef sales. So a little bit of a difference there. Argentina definitely wants to stay in good graces. Brazil, 40%, 47% of China's beef imports in 2024 came out of Mato Grosso, Brazil, just that state. So yeah, there's a lot of beef going into China out of South America. By comparison, the United States is 5% of China's beef supply. However, I don't expect that to change much because that 5% we are is the high quality. It's the high end beef that China knows they can't get that much anyplace else, so they keep coming back for it. The cash markets led the futures all week here. Bids in the south got shut off when they saw that guys in the north were getting $2 to $3 a head higher. Packers did push for the week, got some coverage in, looking to see what they're going to need after Memorial Day holiday here. Consumer demand does not appear to be slowing, it's just shifting. A lot of demand for choice cuts, choice and select especially. Box beef was on a tear all week, and that spread got under $10 between the choice and the select here this week. Ended the week at about 12, $13. But a lot of demand for ground beef heading into the grilling season. We were hoping we'd see a little bit more on the steaks, that such, but it does appear as though the ground beef is going to lead the charge this summer. Tells us that the economy might not be that stable. That tends to be what happened there. We are watching really closely the New World Order screwworm ban still holding in there on Mexican feeder cattle. We have those shut off, about 100,000 a head. I got the numbers here though, and I found I wanted to check and see what we're getting across the border from the north up in Canada. Our Canadian cattle imports only up about 15,000 head from last year at 317,000 head for a running total. So the trade dispute hasn't really shaken anything up there. We're still seeing a large volume of cattle come across. And hogs, though, down 19,000 head on hogs. It's 2.54 million. We don't really we need to get more feeder hogs in the United States, more feeder pigs. Our pork supply getting a little tight. We'll have a cold storage report coming out here next week will likely tell us that our pork supply has been the tightest in almost 20 years, over 20 years since 1997. We'll see if that picks up here a little bit. Um, Other than that, it really not what you would call a huge news week. We did get the cattle on feed report here come out Friday here after the close. The on feed number, 98% of the year ago total trade expecting 99%, so not really a big earth-shattering number there. And of course, April marketings and placements, both 97%, right in line with what trade expected. So pretty much a ho-hum report there. Some things I'm watching in the report. Here's some values I'm watching. If you're wondering where I'm looking at for sales or for buying here, October live cattle are sitting in a range from 202 to 211, and looks like they're going to hold sideways through that for a while. August feeders, 295 to about 307 is where August feeders are trading. There is a gap that we came close to filling today on the feeders. Real close. We got up to within about 20 cents of it to the upside. So a little bit of momentum there. We'll try that again on Tuesday as trade is closed Monday. See if we can get that filled. October hogs in a range from about $77 to $87. There is a gap at 84.60 on that hog chart that we may go down and try to close here. 87.50 contract high that was set this week. So a bit of a correction from there, but we held mostly sideways. Export demand. How about China stepping in and buying pork this week? Didn't think we'd see that 2 weeks ago. The sky was falling. All pork producers were going crazy, thinking we were going to throw pork into the ocean or something. But yeah, that's not the case. China is back in buying. Hogs break and China buys. Imagine that. Other than that, we're going to be watching the grilling season, getting really closely here. We'll start paying more attention on that next week. See what our demand was over the Memorial Day holiday. I'm sure I'll be back with them figures next week, but we want to see if we can maintain that through the summer months. Until then, thank you for your time.